May Allah heal you from whatever pain you are suffering from. May Allah heal you from whatever pain you are suffering from.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa sahabika ya Habiballah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. Dear viewers and listeners of Madani Channel, welcome to another episode on the Silsila Spiritual Cures, where we try to provide some form of relief by way of litanies, invocations, wadha'if, things to do, things to write, things to recite, especially from the research of His Eminence Amir Ahl Sunnat, Damat Barakatumul Aliyah, the great founder of Dawud Islami. Because the reality is, many Muslims out there are going through very difficult times. Perhaps yourself is going through some crisis, some domestic problem, financial problem, some in debts, some have wrongful court cases over them, stress, worry, anxiety, negativity all around. We need to become that positive factor in our lives and in the lives of our family members. Not easy, certainly. But for how long will my mind become negative or remain negative? How can I see the positive even if it's there? So inshallah Azza wa Jal, we have some calls, so we're going to be addressing those calls, some questions and some responses, some wadha'if, some du'as as well, inshallah ta'ala. So stay tuned. For now, let's remember the beautiful narration, Niyatul mu'mini khayrun min amalihi. The intention of a believer is better than his action. Let's make some good intentions that, oh Allah Azza wa Jal, I am watching, I'm listening to the Silsila of Madani Channel for your pleasure and happiness, for the pleasure of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What I learn, I will try to practice. I will try to share with others as well, inshallah azza wa jal. Even if whatever we are going to be discussing does not apply to you, you may know somebody, or perhaps in the future you could meet up with this difficulty. So have a notebook, have a diary, and write down the important Madani pearls and wadha'if, so that you can use it as a reference book, because ink is the best memory. You know, there's so many beautiful blessings, benefits, bounties for reciting Salat ala Nabi Durood Pak. The beloved Master, the last Prophet of Allah Azza wa Jalla, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, decorate your gatherings by reciting Salat upon me, Durood upon me. This Durood of yours, Nurul lakum yawm al-qiyamah, will be light for you on the day of judgment. Who doesn't want that light? Subhanallah. So any gathering that we find ourselves in, obviously we should abstain from any sinful activities and places where sin is being committed, of course. But any gathering in the house or function, etc., recite Durood Pak, recite Dhikrullah, Istighfar, and these things will help us, inshallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. We shall request our Director Sahib and our team to please go ahead and play the first call for this evening. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
My question is, how do I curb my anger? Jazakallah khair.
Ameen wa iyyakum. See, the first thing we need to understand is that anger, ghadab, is a natural emotion. Saying that, it needs to be channeled out productively, positively. Otherwise, it can build up, and then finally, when a person can't take any more, then it can cause harm to the individual himself or herself and to those around them. So, anger is something that we can control. We need to control. Because uncontrolled anger can break relationships, can cause mental, psychological, emotional scars that may take longer to heal than even physical scars or injuries. It can lead to loneliness, depression, and a lot of regret. Because once those words are out of your mouth, you can't take it back. I need to think carefully, clearly. Now what happens is, there's a summary of a hadith that ghussa, ghadab, anger is from shaitan. And shaitan is made from what? Fire. He's one of the jinn. He's made from fire. And fire is extinguished by water. So the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has advised us that when you are angry, then make wudu. How simple is that? Because that's what happens. You think about it. When a person gets really angry, they get heated up, they get hot. And that can cloud their mind, this anger, uncontrolled anger. It can cloud the mind, and a person behaves like they are intoxicated. They just say anything, they just do anything. They don't care who is in the front of them. And that affects your own respect. I want you to think about something. At that moment when I'm so angry, my eyes are popping out, I'm screaming and shouting, or maybe using obscene, vulgar words, or I'm physically assaulting the person. If somebody were to take a video recording of me, a video clip, and then later on, when I'm okay, cool down, everything, they showed me, I will be embarrassed with myself. Is that really me? What happened to me? My face became like contorted. Subhanallah. So, anger is from shaitan. He wants people to fight and argue. He wants them to insult each other, belittle each other, sway each other, harm each other, verbally, physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, because he wants to break families apart. He wants to break husband and wife and separate them. He wants to distance parents and their children, siblings, brothers, sisters. So very simple things, practical things our deen has taught us, if only we apply it. And this is part of channeling anger outward productively. That move away from the person or the thing that is making you angry. Especially if you know you can't control your anger, if you're very temperamental. Some people say, I'm so temperamental, hot-headed. Move away. Go and drink some cool water. Try to make wudu with cool water. So physically cool yourself down. If you're standing, sit down. If you're sitting, if you're somewhere at home, for example, go and lie down. The idea is to move away from the person that is making you angry, so you don't say things later on you're going to regret. And then when you cool down and you calm and you do some recollection, contemplation, and you can think better, now you engage the situation with the person. So anger should be directed at the problem, not the person. You are like this and you those personal insults, it's no good. Target the problem. That will be more effective if we target the root cause of the problem. Sometimes what happens, there could be a spiritual problem behind all of this, but we don't know. Alhamdulillah, Dawud Islami's department, Ruhani Ilaj, Spiritual Cures has these facilities of free istikhara checkings, Ilaj treatments that are available. Contact any of our offices close to you. Or you can go online, you can download the app. What a beautiful app. From App Store, Play Store, it's a free download. You have the option to get your Ilaj Qat done, istikhara done, to become murid of Amir Ahl Sunnah Damat Barakatum Al Aliyah. And it contains many wadha'if, many invocations for different types of problems that many Muslims are suffering from. So download the app today, inshallah. Nevertheless, I'm going to share with you some litanies, and you can find these in a very concise and beautiful booklet called Cure for Anger. On page 23 as well, you can find 13 cures for anger. That person who is constantly getting angry, then take a cup of water. Recite Ya Wadudu one time. Ya Wadudu, Ya Wadudu, Ya Wadudu. Just one time. With Durood-e-Pak once before and after. Do dam, blow into the water and drink it. Or give the angry person to drink this. But drink according to Sunnah. How the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us what are the Islamic social etiquettes of drinking as well. So both of these, sit, hold the vessel or the container or cup in the right hand, look into it so you can clearly see the water. Say Bismillah before, drink with 3 breaths. Say Alhamdulillah afterwards. This will have a positive effect, inshallah ta'ala. Now, that was a different wazifa, but from the booklet Cure for Anger, you can find these very simple, very easy wadha'if and litanies to recite, especially for the person who is temperamental and gets angry quickly. Even for the person who generally doesn't get angry quickly, they can also recite these. You know, they say that there are some people that it takes a very long time for them to get angry. And when they do get angry, they cool down quickly. But some people, very quickly, anything can just tick them off. They become angry and it takes them long to cool down. Others, it takes them long to get angry and long to cool down. And others they become angry, but it takes them quickly that the anger subsides. Best to become the person that it takes a person long to get angry and very quickly that anger is removed. So the wadha'if that you can find in that risala, that booklet Cure for Anger, this as well you can download from dawudislami.net, or you can obtain the hard copy from Maktabatul Madina, our bookshop. The one who indulges in sins because of anger should recite the following 21 times after every fard salah, and then blow towards yourself. When you're eating, then recite it 3 times and blow onto the food. Then recite again 3 times and blow over the water that you're going to drink. 21 times. What should be recited after every fard salah? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Simple, easy. Let us start practicing upon that. The pronunciations have to be correct though. So 21 times Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim after every fard salah. 3 times when you're going to eat, blow on the food, and 3 times and then blow into the water that you're going to drink. Occasionally, every now and then, whilst walking, recite Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahimu. Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahimu. Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahimu. Also, whilst walking, keep reciting Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. And one more wazifa, inshallah, that the following ayah, the following verse of the Holy Quran should be recited 7 times every day. You can find it in Surah Ali Imran, verse 134. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal kadhimina al-ghayza wal 'afina 'anil nas wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. This verse of Surah Ali Imran, verse 134, must be recited daily 7 times every day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding and the ability to curb our anger and direct it outwards constructively and productively. Can we please have the next call? Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
My question is, how do I secure my home? Jazakallah.
Ameen wa iyyakum. Okay, so there are several ways, several angles also. It depends. If you're talking about from physically, then of course physical security would be required. For that, depending on your area, if it's a crime-ridden area, then do the necessary. Make sure you put up your burglar guards, you secure the home. If you are able to, then put up cameras, CCTV cameras, or smart cameras as they call it today. That's a good option. Try to put in an alarm system, and you get these certain beams that you can speak to a security company, link up and connect with a security company for patrols and armed response and all of those things, necessary things. When you returning home, if it's late at night, then switch off everything. You know, if you're listening to maybe Naat or something, then put it off, put the radio off. So you hone in on your driveway, because one of the main areas that people get carjacked is in their driveways. So check if there's anybody around, standing around, suspicious vehicles, suspicious people in your home. Go through role playing with your kids, that if there's an emergency or something, then this is what we need to do. But do it as a role play, so they learn from that. Make sure you have emergency numbers, like for the fire department, ambulance, for the police department. Try to have that pasted somewhere where everybody, even the kids, know where it is in case there is an emergency. So besides this, we can make our homes into a haven, or like a heaven, a safe haven from any turmoil that is outside, the stress that is outside. Because you don't want to come to a home that things are untidy, unpleasant, bad smell, unclean, noisy. You come home to relax. That's your place of safety and a place to rewind and relax. There is something else that can be done, should be done, but this is more of a collective effort of the society. That if there's a fire outside my house, I need to put it out. I need to extinguish it, because it can enter my house. Whether it's real fire or the fires of sins, drugs, alcohol, and all of this filth which is in our communities. So the community has to collectively come together and extinguish these fires. It could be that my child can be influenced by this. Then I'm going to think, like, what happened to my kid? when my kids started taking drugs or smoking or drinking alcohol or going to the clubs. So that's a way also of protecting your home. If everybody had this mindset, okay, let's all work together and check on our community. If you can volunteer, do patrols for harmony in the home, to secure your home, to protect yourselves. I will share some wadha'if inshallah. Before that, see, it's important and it's necessary actually that we fulfill each other's rights. If we fail to do this, that could lead to a degradation of relationships, a violation of the rights of others is going to cause those, whether it's a couple or parents and their children or siblings, they're going to distance each other. They're going to get distance. Social media has played a big role in distancing many family members. It has broken many homes. Other evils as well. If it's not controlled, if it's not used properly. There's a book called Causes of Deprivation and Solutions. It's a wonderful, concise book which you can get from Maktabatul Madina or download from dawoodislami.net. And especially read over all those factors that cause deprivation, barakati in the house. Because you hear almost every second, third person saying, I don't have any blessings, I want more blessings, more barakat. When you read those examples, real examples, you're going to come to know that I'm guilty of so many things here. And perhaps because I'm doing all these things wrong, are there cobwebs in my house? The shoes that I use, or anybody in the house uses, if I see it upside down, do I leave it like that? That's a cause of barakati, of deprivation, can cause to lead to poverty. Do I disrespect my parents? Do I call my parents by their names? There's so many different examples. Please try to read over that book, inshallah. Don't make the house into a graveyard. Recite Quran in the house. Recite dhikrullah, durood-e-pak. Salah can be performed as well, especially Islamic sisters will be performing their salah. Islamic brothers should obviously perform their salah with the jama'ah in the masjid. But nafil salah can be performed in the house. Tahajjud, Ishraq, Chash, Tahiyyatul Wudu, Salatul Tawbah, Salatul Awabin, many things. Amir Ahl-Sunnah Damat Barakatum Al-Aliyah advises us. And this is part of securing your home. When you are returning home, then recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and enter with the right foot. Do you know, if a person does not recite Bismillah and enters the home, a shaitan, a jinn, a devil enters with them. What do you think is the purpose of the devil entering? To create domestic disputes. So be careful of this and encourage others in the household to do the same. And after you enter, make salam loudly. If nobody is in the home, say Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Because as ulama have mentioned, the soul of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is present in the houses of the believers. Subhanallah. And then you recite Qul huwallahu ahad, Surah Al-Ikhlas, one time. By doing this, there's a double benefit. That the person's home will be protected against domestic problems. And if there is, inshallah azza wa jal, they will disappear. And the other benefit, that person will gain blessings in their sustenance. How simple and easy. You know, we need to make it a habit actually. That if you make it a habit, inshallah azza wa jal, then we'll be practicing upon it. When you're leaving the house, before you leave the house, read Ya Muhaiminu 29 times. Blow on yourself and your family members. Read Ya Jalilu 10 times. And blow on your material items like your phone, watch, wallet, etc. That also is for protection of those items and yourself as well. Allah Azza wa Jal protect all the believers, all the Muslims against all types of troubles, against all types of criminals, whether physical or spiritual. Please can we have the next call? Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
Salatu wa salamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Habib ya Rasulullah. My question is there a dua to recite when there is a storm? Jazakallah khairan.
Ameen wa iyyakum. Yes, indeed, mashallah azza wa jal. There is a dua. It's not a very lengthy dua to be recited. And in fact, we can memorize it. We should memorize it. Because you don't know when, you don't know where, all of a sudden, the wind picks up, it starts raining, thundering, lightning. There's a storm outside. So, alhamdulillah azza wa jal, we are taught that to recite this dua. And by reciting it and making good intentions, inshallah ta'ala, there's going to be a reward. Do it for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do it for the pleasure of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do it to earn thawab. Do it to remain protected from the storm. I'm firstly going to share the translation with you. And then we'll go over the dua. So you have an understanding then. So this dua is recited when there is a storm. Okay? The translation is, O Allah, I ask you for the goodness of the storm and for the goodness of what it carries and for the goodness of what it has been sent with, and I seek your refuge from the evil of the storm and from the evil of what it carries and from the evil of what it has been sent with. Beautiful dua that's mentioned in the blessed hadith actually. And you can get, in fact, every home must have certain books, especially for English-speaking people out there. Besides the Quran, Kanzul Iman. Translation, the most authentic English translation of the Quran is Kanzul Iman. This is available. Get your hard copies. Visit Maktabatul Madina. Follow Dawud Islami on social media. Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal, with millions of followers throughout the different social media sites and platforms. You too link into those. So you get constant feedback. You get different narrations, different wada'if and knowledge from authentic sources and scholars, mashallah. So one of the books, or some of the books that we need to get, besides the glorious Quran, is every home should have a copy of Faizan Sunnat. This is the magnum opus, the masterpiece of Amir Ahl-Sunnat Damat Barakatum Aliyah. Create your own library. Have the books and booklets of Dawud Islami Maktabatul Madina, which is the publications department of Dawud Islami in our bookshop as well. If you're online, then alhamdulillah, the e-books are there. Download the app from App Store and Play Store. These social media sites and facilities are available. Prayer times is available. How wonderful. Anywhere in the world you go, you can get accurate timings for your salahs. And it has so many other features as well. Alhamdulillah. So like that, Dawud Islami is very active on different social media platforms. These are the alternatives from a lot of the confusion and chaos and darknesses out there on the internet and social media. Dawat Islami is shining that light and educating the Ummah as well. And as you invest in these books, don't just stock your shelf with the books and not read it. If you want to taste the sweetness of your knowledge, we have to read, we have to practice for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's go over that dua. In fact, you can find this dua in that book, Madani Channel, page 207. You can also download. In fact, if you go to our website, the book section, you can download 250 to 300 or over books and booklets in English, much of which is translated into over 30 different languages. The dua is Allahumma inni as'aluka khayraha wa khayra ma fiha wa khayra ma ursilat bihi wa a'udhu bika min sharriha wa sharri ma fiha wa sharri ma ursilat bihi. Sweet and short. Definitely we can memorize this. So the next time there's a storm, or just open your Madani Channel on your phone or your hard copy and read, inshallah ta'ala. May we have the next call, please. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
My question is, how can backbiting affect me? Jazakallah.
Ameen wa iyyakum. Backbiting is a cancer. We talk about the cancers of today, the medical cancers, how devastating, how painful it is. But backbiting, this is one of the great cancers amongst the spiritual diseases that many are guilty of, and we think nothing about it. I would pay more attention to the medical problems than I would to spiritual diseases. And the spiritual diseases are more dangerous for us. It could affect one's iman. And backbiting, it's like eating the flesh of your dead Muslim brother. Who would want to do that? But that's what it's like. It's such a cancer that you bad-mouthing another Muslim in their absence. How does it affect you or me? Well, my good deeds, my hard-earned good deeds, where do you think they are being transferred to? To the person I'm backbiting about. I think that's number one. That's like number one on the list. Or number one on the list is, it's a major sin. And major sins will be accompanied by major punishments. Is that what I want? Here I have an audience. I'm talking bad about another Muslim. Oh, he's like this, and he can't even read Salah properly. He doesn't read all his Salahs. Whatever negative and bad, that if it were said in his presence, he won't like it. And you have some people justifying it, but it's the truth. Well, that is backbiting. And if it's not the truth, it's buhtan, it is slander, which is worse than backbiting. Because I'm assassinating that Muslim's character. And as the mashayikh and the pious ones, they told us, they've written, if somebody comes to you backbiting about another person, then definitely he's backbiting about you to others. Even the person who's part of the audience, the backbiter continues backbiting because he has somebody to listen. So even if I'm not backbiting, but I'm lending the ear, I'm part of the entertainment, the juicy gossips, I'm part and parcel of the crime. When people come to know this group of guys, this is what they do, they're born for this. People talk like this. Then your reputation gets tarnished. Your reputation. And of course, the good deeds, your hard-earned good deeds that you, even if the person is 5 times namazi, he stay first in the masjid. But if he's got this evil, dirty, filthy habit of backbiting, you're losing your good deeds, you don't even know it. This we will know on the Day of Judgment. Allahu Akbar. There's a lovely story that there was an alim, an imam sahib of a masjid, and one of his musallis used to always backbite about him. Always negative, armchair critic. Negative talks against this alim ad-din, against his imam sahib. The imam sahib came to find out about it. So he started giving money as a gift every month to this person. The person got surprised, but he said, money, I can use it. Then after some time, his wife tells him, you're very shameless. Imam Sahib, you're reading Salah behind him and you're talking bad about him. And on top of that, he's giving you this gift of money every month and you're still backbiting about him. So he started thinking about this. He said, you're right. Let me stop backbiting about him. He stopped. And then the money also stopped. So he thought to himself, maybe Imam Sahib forgot. The next month came, no money came. So he goes to the Imam Sahib. He said, Hazrat, you were giving me some gift of money. The last 2 months, maybe you forgot. The Imam Sahib said, well, I came to find out that you go around spreading rumors and backbiting about me. So your good deeds are all coming to me. As a gesture of thank you, that's why I was giving you that money. But then I was told that you stop backbiting about me. So now your good deeds are not coming to me anymore. I don't need to thank you for anything. It seems humorous, but think about it. The one who recites the following regularly will remain protected, will remain saved from any backbiting against him. Very simple, but it must be done regularly. Ya Jabbaru, Ya Jabbaru, Ya Jabbaru. It is reported from Allama Shaykh Majduddin Firozabadi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayhi that whenever you sit in any gathering amongst the people, then recite the following. By doing so, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will appoint an angel for you. This angel will prevent you from backbiting about others. And whenever you get up to leave from that gathering, recite the same thing. I'll share it in a moment. Recite the same thing, then that angel will prevent the other people from backbiting about you. How beautiful is that? An angel is actually appointed to stop you from backbiting about others and to stop others from backbiting about you. So when you're in that gathering, recite it. And when you're leaving that gathering, recite it as well. What should be recited? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So the tasmiyah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and wa sallallahu ala Muhammad. Easy. Recite it. Look at the benefits. Look at the blessings. Look at the safety and security you're going to get. Subhanallah. Allah Azza wa Jal protect us against this cancer of backbiting. In fact, there's a book by Amir al-Sunnah Damat Barakatuh Ali. It's like an encyclopedia on backbiting, the different forms of backbiting. And backbiting is not only verbal, can be written form as well, can be through gestures. Get the book. It talks about the harms, the destructions, the ayat, the hadith, and so many examples. And believe me, when you're reading it, you're going to think to yourself, I'm guilty as charged. I'm doing so many of these things. Dawud Islami is about empowerment by teaching authentic knowledge. I think we have time for one quick call, inshallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
My question is, where can I learn to recite the Holy Quran properly and to make sure my salah is correct? Jazakallahu khairan.
Ameen wa iyyakum. MashaAllah Azza wa Jal. That's the spirit. That's the spirit all of us must have. I want to improve myself. I want to reform myself, rectify myself. If I don't have a mentor, if I don't have a teacher, then chances are I could be doing certain things wrong and I don't even know it. So this is where Dawud Islami plays a big role in empowerment of Muslims, males, females, boys, girls, separate classes. And the online facility is there. Faizan Online Academy, QuranTeacher.net. Visit these places and enroll today. If you are far from a Dawud Islami center, then use technology. Download the Madani Qaida app for free from App Store and Play Store. And without a teacher in front of you, you just follow what the Qari Sahib reads. The Qari Sahib, you click on Alif, he'll read Alif. You click on Ba, he'll say Ba. You just repeat. You can learn like that also. So enroll in the courses and the classes. There's like over 30 different courses available online. And Dawud Islami has special classes for grown-ups. Baliwan classes, we call it. So visit your nearest Madani Markaz Islamic Center of Dawud Islami and enroll there, and you can learn the correct way of making salah, wudu, ghusl, and reciting the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us always on the path of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sahaba Ikram, Ahlul Bayt, and Awliya Allah. Ameen. Bijahi khatamin nabiyyin sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Until next time, keep watching Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam.
May Allah heal you from whatever pain you are suffering from. May Allah heal you from whatever pain you are suffering from.